So I thought for sure all of the allegations against Matt Gaetz for criminal sex trafficking of minors were basically all dead in the water. But it turns out
Snipe.
not so dead. Sophie, thank you for getting the tier 1 sub to the Shamanite. Thank you for sniping. So what basically made this gigantic change? What brought this back to life? Essentially, it turns out that the House Ethics Committee in Congress has been pursuing an investigation against Matt Gaetz. And it turns out they have some direct witness testimony and text messages related to all of this from an eyewitness. Let's take a look. This is from the Daily Beast here. Witness told feds she was paid for sex parties with Matt Gaetz. So basically, the ethics committee is investigating Gaetz and has text messages between the congressman and the woman who claims she had sex with Gaetz at parties she was paid to attend. Now, a lot of this is interesting, for sure. Like this has been a long time coming. Okay, so it was reported on Wednesday that the House Ethics Committee had acquired text messages between a young woman involved in the sex trafficking investigation, and Representative Matt Gaetz. And a Gaetz spokesperson told ABC that the congressman does not know anything about the young woman you're referencing. And Daily Beast adds that seems extraordinarily unlikely. According to sources available to the Daily Beast, the woman told prosecutors in 2021 that she had sex with Gaetz at a drug-fueled party that she was paid to attend, and this is according to her attorney. Right? This attorney then told the Daily Beast on Thursday that the woman, in fact, received payments in connection with multiple sex parties with people in Gaetz' circle. Her lawyer said that in response to a subpoena, she testified about her experiences to U.S. attorneys investigating Gaetz, and she turned over text messages, photos, and other evidence to the Justice Department as part of its child sex trafficking inquiry into the Florida congressman. So, yeah, there's photographic evidence, and what I find very intriguing here is and other evidence. What other evidence? Because I feel like if that other evidence was video evidence, they would say and video evidence. There's a non-zero chance that like she kept some kind of like article of clothing, perhaps, that has his DNA on it. I don't know why it would not specify video if it was a video. So, interestingly enough, the Daily Beast obtained some of the messages and photos, which is I have no idea how they went about doing that. We have, yeah, literally here is one of the photos. It's Matt Gaetz. That is indeed Matt Gaetz. With presumably the woman in question. Yeah, he totally doesn't know who she is. Ha 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 ha. He shot the ropes that are now going to hang him. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's see. There's so much here too. Like this is a lot. While the lawyer said he had not yet been contacted by House investigators, as ABC reported, the House Ethics Committee is now reviewing this evidence as part of its inquiry into whether Gaetz paid for sex with women and with an underage teen. In fact, the ethics committee met Thursday afternoon behind closed doors to discuss the Gaetz case, which also involves allegations of public corruption, solicitation of prostitution, habitual use of hard drugs, bribes or impermissible gifts, campaign finance violations, and exhibiting nude photos of sexual partners on the House floor. Which, what? Dude, what? Oh, okay, I totally missed this one. This is from years ago. Matt Gaetz showed images and videos of nude women he was sleeping with to aides and fellow lawmakers in the Capitol and even on the House floor. Man, where's all the Republican outrage over the guy who filmed the video having sex in the Senate chambers? Where's all that Republican outrage? So strange. But like, also keep in mind that like these are maybe the best case allegations for them to confirm, and they're all very bad. But this is also involving him sleeping with an underage girl. So, like, basically what it seems like they're doing is confirming all of the other stuff first before, like, the final nail in the coffin is confirming that part. I mean, it's really not that surprising that, like, Matt Gaetz, a guy whose pimp, like, testified that he slept with children, is now about to be undone by that. It's my God. The woman's attorney also told the Daily Beast that when it became apparent Gaetz was being investigated in 2021, she was contacted by another male party attendee, a Gaetz associate, who pressed her to see if she was speaking to anyone about the congressman or the parties. She felt this meeting was an effort to intimidate her into not describing any of the events related to Gaetz. Yeah, I mean, this is a situation, right, where, like, I don't blame her for being scared to come forward. If there's a sitting member of Congress who thinks you have dirt on him, there's a lot of power being arrayed against you to keep you from talking. And if that person is already deeply involved in illegal activities, it is not inconceivable that the stuff arrayed against you could include, like, actual ability to carry out assassination or murder. That's not outside the realm of possibility for someone in that level of power. We know that. The woman, whose name the Daily Beast is withholding, was older than 21 at the time of the encounters, the attorney said, noting that she emphasized to prosecutors that the sex was consensual. So at the very least here, we're not talking about, like, a rape, but it is pretty telling that the Daily Beast had to add that she was older than 21 at the time, given the underage allegations. She told them that she and lots of girls were provided all kinds of controlled substances at these parties, the lawyer said, confirming a number of news reports about the gatherings. The heavy use of drugs and alcohol was a hurdle for investigators, he said, since it muddled memories of the events. The availability of vast amounts of alcohol and controlled substances gave rise to the lack of control and hormonal imperative, this lawyer continued, which inspired people to engage in intimate behavior that may or may not have been done because they were financially remunerated. Or is this a typo? Remunerated? I've never seen that word before, if it's not. The woman appears in Venmo transactions previously reported on by the Daily Beast, going back to 2017. This woman received nearly $2,500 across multiple payments from Gaetz' then best friend, Joel Greenberg. Now, if those of you have been following any of this case, Joel Greenberg is basically a sex trafficker. Like he gets girls to go to sex parties. That's essentially his role. His role is to provide sex to Matt Gaetz and people in that circle. Yeah. Which becomes apparent. The descriptions Greenberg entered for her payments include travel, being cool, stuff, and the misspelled first name of another Greenberg associate. Yeah, he effectively acted as a pimp. The text messages now in the hands of congressional investigators show Gaetz propositioning the woman for a May 2017 private group flight to the Florida Keys, where they would be joined by 3 women and 1 other man. Quote, "Hey, any interest in flying on a private plane to the Keys May 19th through the 21st? Gaetz wrote in one message, adding that she would be traveling with 2 guys, 4 girls. Very high-quality, adventurous group. The woman initially agreed, to which Gaetz replied, "Fantastic. As is true with all the time you spend with me, it'll be fun and chill," Gaetz wrote. The woman ultimately declined to make the trip. She doesn't appear in Venmo transactions around that time, though 2 other women do, including one who received a $500 payment described as Cuba. Like, my God. A person with knowledge of the events told the Daily Beast that Gaetz privately boasted about taking a trip to Cuba around this time. Wow, that's shocking. That's shocking, dog. Although the woman appears to have ultimately declined the trip to the Florida Keys, ABC reported that she posed for a selfie with Gaetz on May 19th, the planned departure day. That photo, which the Daily Beast has obtained, was taken at 10:53 p.m. in Winter Garden, Florida, according to metadata on the photo. It shows the attention-grabbing conservative in a t-shirt emblazoned with a quote from former Planned Parenthood Vice President Mary Lasker. If you think research is expensive, try disease. Again, this is just a lot of evidence that conservatives don't believe their own shit. They're shoveling shit down the throats of American conservatives, while they're completely not on board with the rest of it, you know? Everything is projection for them. Yeah, no, I know from the context that remunerate means paid, but I've never seen that word. Like, he's even wearing like a Planned Parenthood shirt. This is crazy. This Gaetz associate asked to meet the woman for lunch in spring of 2021, the lawyer said. The setup made the attorney so uneasy, however, that he dispatched a colleague to tag along and monitor the meeting in secret. Quote, "This associate was there asking her over and over and over what she has said, demanding she tell them," the lawyer claimed. The lawyer reported that the woman felt intimidated but did not concede. I mean, how sussy does a meeting have to be that your lawyer's like, I'm going to send somebody with you to make sure you're okay. My God. The fact that nothing has come of it has kind of astonished her, who, along with all the others, had been the focal point of such intense investigation, the woman's lawyer said. For them to go through all that, and then for the target of the investigation to just get a wink and a nod, has created for some of them a loss of faith in the system. Which, yeah, obviously. Obviously. So this probe has been going on since 2021. And yeah, it's only finally now getting some traction. It's been 3 years. Since then, the committee has reached out to several key witnesses, including the former 17-year-old at the center of the sex trafficking allegations, Greenberg, and an ex-friend of Gaetz, according to news reports and sources familiar with events. And just to clarify, Greenberg has already admitted under oath that he saw Matt Gaetz having sex with the 17-year-old. And for some crazy reason, all of this was put on ice. They tabled the official investigation. The only reason this is now being picked up again is because the Congressional House Ethics Committee has picked it up again. Yeah, the ethics probe appears to have rattled Gaetz. I would imagine he thought it was dead. He thought it was dead and buried. He thought he was getting off scot-free, and now suddenly all of this is coming to light once again. And I'm guessing it's coming to light in a way that he doesn't necessarily have the leverage to prevent. You know, this is not a situation where he has the ability to put pressure on investigators, because it's currently being done by other members of Congress. Yeah. Gaetz' close associate, Greenberg, struck a deal with prosecutors in May of 2021, pleading guilty to child sex trafficking, fraud, and an array of other federal offenses. In his plea agreement, Greenberg admitted that he had also connected the former 17-year-old to other unnamed adult men who had sex with her while she was still underage. After several proffers and deferments, Greenberg was eventually sentenced in December 2022, receiving 11 years in prison. In a confession letter Greenberg penned in 2020 as part of his pursuit of a pardon from then-President Donald Trump, Greenberg wrote that Gaetz also paid to have sex with the 17-year-old. In his letter, Greenberg noted the exact date that he accessed a DMV database to learn that the teen in question was underage. Quote, I immediately called the congressman and warned him to stay clear of this person and informed him she was underage. He was equally shocked and disturbed by this revelation. But that new information apparently didn't scare Gaetz or Greenberg off from the teen. The Daily Beast previously reported about a Venmo payment from Gaetz to Greenberg about 8 months later, where Gaetz asked to have his friend hit up the teen. She had turned 18 just 5 months prior to that Venmo transaction. And Gaetz was 36 at the time, twice her age. So, yeah. So basically, I really want to stress here that Matt Gaetz' best friend is a convicted child sex trafficker who said that he saw her having, who said he saw him having sex with her. They have that already. So we'll see where this investigation goes. Hopefully it seems like right now it's on track to getting Matt Gaetz expelled from Congress. I think that would be like after this bombshell report is fully finished and concluded and released, that would be the next move. Though I have absolutely zero faith that the GOP would allow that to happen. But, you know, they expelled George Santos, so who knows? How fucked is Matt Gaetz? I mean, according to a lot of the allegations here, thoroughly.